All right, welcome into the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show here on Sports Hub STL. Chris Pelikan, Kareem Rush, former Mizzou legend, with you as the Tigers fall in Norman, Oklahoma, 96-84. Kareem,
Yeah.
I want to be positive. I want to think of some nice stuff to say. I don't know. I'm going to turn it over to you. I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid butt kicking. Let's chalk that one up to being senior night. They're still kind of playing for something. They're still kind of on the bubble. So a little more riding on this game for them at home. Again, 8 seniors graduating, so a lot of energy in the arena. But that was just kind of a butt kicking from the beginning. Early on, our defense was kind of slow. They got a lot of points in the paint that first half, and then the second half of the freshman Fears, which was unbelievable. I think he had a career high 31 today. So all in all, just kind of a butt whooping. Not much for Jens to say about this one. We really got to kind of solo up our defense. I'm allowing 96 points to Oklahoma, something we kind of get a hold of in the last few games. They're kind of struggling on the defensive end. So it's becoming an issue for us. Hopefully, we can kind of address those as we proceed into the last game and moving on to the SEC tournament. But definitely some concerns on the defensive end. The last few games for us.
Yeah, we can call this a post-game show or a therapy session for the good folks of Mizzou Nation. We want to hear from you. Hit that comment button below. Let us know what your thoughts are on this thing. If you have any positives, I'd love to hear them because I'm, like I said, still looking for some. Also, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button. Do us the solid of becoming a subscriber to the Sports Hub STL, and we will greatly appreciate it, but we look forward to your comments in this one. This is the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show presented by Hot Shots, St. Louis's home for all the games, all the time since 1990. Find yours at hotshotsnet.com. We're also sponsored by Educated Spirits New Rivals Bourbon Collection featuring the black and gold. Visit educatedspirits.io. Kareem, I hate to say it, I got to the Educated Spirits a little early tonight.
A little early today. This is the first half.
If we're looking for a positive, it's that we got into the Educated Spirits bourbon early. That's
always
about all I got. Yeah. So I mean, and look, I guess I think the first thing that I can look at when we're talking about this game is you and I have talked about this a number of times, and I think that the 3-point shooting is a lot of fun. What Mark Mitchell does to attack the basket is fantastic. But what has led to this team's success in my mind is what they do defensively. I mean, with the arms in the lane, the switching, all this stuff. I mean, it's double-digit turnovers seemingly every night. And then this happens. I mean, you mentioned it. Oklahoma got to the basket with no without any hesitation in the first half. And I'm sitting there wondering, where is the defense that's characterized this team? And I mean, you've played on a lot of teams, Kareem, but is this just a team that wasn't ready to play tonight?
Yeah, like I said, senior night. I mean, there's a lot of energy going on. And Ant got in foul trouble early on, so having him not be on Fears, definitely put us at a disadvantage. He kind of sets the tone for us defensively. But with us offensively, Caleb does such a great job when he hits threes. It kind of energizes us, gets us kind of activated, get guys moving around. And if he's not really hitting, it kind of has us being kind of stagnant on both ends of the floor. But again, like I said, our switching early on in the first half, they were getting, layups. With Godwin, I think he had 12 points in the first half, easy buckets in front of the rim. So that kind of put us down in the first half. But again, there's certain things that we got to clear up. I don't mind the switching. That is kind of an advantage of us that we do have. But when we do switch, we got to make sure we kind of bump those rows and keep those guys and get easy buckets in front of the basket, limit them to the outside shots. Focus on challenging those shots, and then again, securing the paint. It's been a trouble for us the last few games.
Yeah, Tigers lose 96-84 in Norman. And that was the thing too. It's senior night. I know the players were pumped, but I mean, watching from TV, and again, I wasn't courtside there, but it didn't look like the hostile atmosphere that we saw at Vanderbilt over the weekend. I hate to say it seems like a lot of the Oklahoma faithful have maybe given up on their team, despite the fact that they are firmly on the bubble, and this win tonight probably puts them into the tournament. But again, it's just one of these things that we've talked after the Alabama game, and you're sitting there and you're saying to yourself, this team, this Missouri Tiger team, I mean, this is a Final Four caliber team when things are working. And then I look at this game tonight and I'm going, this team is easily upset by a 12 seed in the first round if they show up like this. We talked about it last game. Are they starting to get into tournament mode? And I think that I speak for a lot of Mizzou Nation Kareem, when I say this is a little alarming, that this is the kind of effort you get with in your second to last regular season game before you go into one of the toughest conference tournaments any team could ever play onto the big stage. Should fans be concerned about what they saw tonight?
I mean, losing two in a row is always tough. But again, we're playing in the most competitive conference in the history of college basketball. So no matchup is going to be an easy game, especially at home when a lot of these teams are still playing for pride. Like I mentioned tonight was senior night. So you want to send those guys off on the right note. Oklahoma's not been a bad team. They haven't got the wins,
Sure.
but if you look at their resume, they've been in a lot of tight games. They got 6 squad wins this year. So they're not a bad team at all. They just happen to be in the toughest conference in history. So they're 4-12 record. It's kind of, it's not really kind of telling the true tale about how well they actually are and good as a team. So I didn't anticipate it was going to be an easy win tonight. Like I said, I knew it was senior night. I knew they were on the bubble. But I just expected a little better, defensive mindset for us tonight. Giving them 96 points, it's going to be hard to win on anybody's court. So I think if we seal that up, scored 80 points is, it's kind of where we are. But we just got to do a better job of limiting them on the offensive end.
Can you remember a time in your career? And again, I mean, I don't have the stat book handy where you play a team and hold them to 58 points and then literally 3 weeks later, you allow almost 40 more points than you. I mean, you talk about night and day. I mean, do you ever remember any sort of that big of a turnaround against the same opponent in such a short period of time?
If we beat KU and they came back and got us the next time, who knows? That might have been one, but I mean, that's kind of telling of a home and away. We're playing well at the time they came and saw us, beat them by 25. We had a great game. And again, now, back on their home floor, still playing for something, senior night, a lot of energy, a lot of, emotions going on with that game. So again, I wouldn't hold, I'm not too concerned. I think how we finished the final game, and then how, I think a couple wins in the SEC tournament will position us nicely going into the tournament. I think we're going to be a 4 or 5 seed regardless of what we do. So again, these last 2 games, they're on somebody's home court. I'm fine with them. We can kind of touch up and do a little better job on the defensive end. But let's close out at home the final game, win a couple games in the SEC tournament and get on the right momentum going to tournament time.
This is the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show on Sports Hub STL. Chris Pelikan, Kareem Rush with you. Folks, jump on into the conversation.
Get on here.
Struggling for positivity. I'll dive into the negativity if you want some of that. So activate your comment button. And then also while you're down there, hit your subscribe button and join our family. This is the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show, sponsored in part by Educated Spirits' new Rivals Bourbon Collection featuring the black and gold. Taste the tradition in every sip from Educated Spirits. It is a company created by our very own Kareem Rush and his brother Brandon. This brand is not just a product, it's a celebration of legacy, culture, and the connections we share over a great drink. Educated Spirits is here to elevate every sip one story at a time. To pre-order, visit educatedspirits.io. Even if you're not a bourbon drinker, support one of our favorite Tigers and grab a bottle to display at home. That's educatedspirits.io for the new black and gold bourbon. Educated Spirits, taste the tradition in every sip. Cheers to you, my good friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. But shout out to everyone who's bought a bottle up to this point. We're closing in on our first 50 sales, which is amazing in the last couple of weeks. So we're pushing forward on the brand. Again, taste tradition in every sip. You KU fans who may be listening, we also have a KU edition for my brother. And our plans are to launch in different markets. We will have a slew one coming here very soon. I got my guy, Chris Sloan, Tatum, Larry Hughes. Those guys are going to be a part of the slew edition. So big plans for the brand, but the first edition, the Rivals edition, the Border War collection between me against me and my brother. Pick that up now while you can. Autographed, by myself and my brother. We also have a golden ticket promotion. And each one of the first 500, you get that golden ticket. You get a chance to attend the Border War matchup next year with myself and my brother. So a lot of cool things and experiences tied to the brand.
There you go. Visit the website, educatedspirits.io, in order to pre-order. Kareem, I wanted to ask you again. So Tigers lose 96-84 tonight in Oklahoma. Very tough game for the Tigers, especially defensively. I'm curious, and I know you've known Dennis Gates for a long period of time, followed his coaching career. And he does something kind of interesting, and I'm curious what your thoughts are, but his team clearly was not responding early on. And again, I mean, there's no such thing as a team that plays 1,000% every minute out there. But when his teams seem to be struggling, we start seeing some strange substitution patterns. And
Yeah.
we see Marcus Allen out there tonight. Honor Boateng, who, in my opinion, will end up being a very, very good player for the Tigers, but has seen very little floor time, comes in when they're down by 12 points in a conference game. You see Aiden Shaw get some minutes at this point in time. T.O. Barrett played a lot of time, probably because of most definitely because of the foul trouble that Anthony Robinson found himself in. But, what's your take on that? Because it seems to me, and maybe I'm wrong on this, but don't you want the guys who got you there trying to fight through whatever it is that's getting them, instead of kind of throwing them on the bench and saying, we're going to give Honor Boateng minutes when he hasn't had them in a month and a half, and Marcus Allen minutes when he hasn't had them in, multiple weeks?
I think Dennis knows kind of the feel of the game and how guys are playing and performing, and give those guys an opportunity to kind of come in when we're down 18, 20, get a chance to get some time. I'm not against it. See if they can kind of put a run, bring some energy, spark, run, because we weren't able to get any stops. We would get it close, get it down to 12, and then maybe some different energy coming in. Get those guys some rest. We are coming close towards the end. We don't want to get an injury. So I think just kind of allowing those guys to get some time. Those guys put in effort in practice and huge parts of the team. So to get them little minutes towards the end, I'm not against it at all.
So tell me then about Mark Mitchell. Didn't play a bad game tonight. Didn't play a great game. Anthony Robinson, this is the kind of game he'd probably rather forget because of the foul trouble. Caleb Grill, not fantastic. Tamar Bates, really tough night on both ends of the floor. A couple turnovers. Didn't shoot the ball real well. When you're a veteran like that, is there any value in trying to kind of find it on the court at the end of a game that you're losing? Or do you think those guys are able to turn the page and the start of the next game against Kentucky is going to be all wax?
I think we turn the page. Like I said, I think the senior night, all that hoopla going on, Dennis can tell those guys, hey guys, we got to play better defensively. That's number one. Our offense was kind of stagnant. We need to get out and get our steals. I think they shot, 25 free throws. They got to the line. They actually beat us at our own game. So clean up some of these small things. Let's get a win against Kentucky to close it out. And let's get a couple wins. Let's win the SEC tournament. That's our focus. We've had a great year. Let's not have these two losses, be that big of an issue. Obviously, let's correct some of the issues that we've addressed the last few games, but let's go ahead and have a great SEC tournament and get ready for March.
Yep. This is the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show on Sports Hub STL. This is your show for the viewers. Kareem and I are just steering the ship a little bit here. And we do have a comment from Bill Scholes. Bill saying he's not worried at all. They're going to beat Kentucky at home. I feel good about a rebound as well. I'll say that right now. But then he does ask the question, and we can just jump off topic real quickly here. Kareem, do you still hoop recreationally like in a men's league or anything like that? What are you doing basketball-wise these days?
I still shoot probably 3 to 4 times a week. I was shooting probably up to 3 or 4 months ago. I was shooting almost every day. So this still kind of staying in shape because I still love it. Don't play any men's leagues. I'm looking for one. So if you guys know any good men's leagues in Kansas City, let me come in as a super sub. I can go in there and do my thing because, shooting never goes away. I still personally believe that I can now shoot 90% of the NBA today.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Open shots. I probably can give you a good 15, 20 minutes at my 45-year-old age. But I still try to play as much as I can. My nieces, they play, my nephews play. So as they age, I'd be sure to kind of stay in the gym. My older brother, Jerron, has a really successful basketball training skill development program. So I get in the gym with him every now and again. But I'm looking for a men's league. That's why I started my league, the ADL, was for, guys my age to come back and play in front of those Mizzou, Tiger fans, and still get a chance to, go out there and compete against guys our age.
There's a question from Mr. Speed 000. Does Chris play in a men's league?
You can be my team. Let's
also
start a
looking
league.
for one?
Yeah. We come to St. Louis. If I'm in St. Louis, I come in as a super sub, come in once a week. We show up and kill.
I'm really good at organizing the team. Maybe not so much. Maybe I'll draw some plays up. Not so sure that anyone's going to be real interested. I do agree that Kareem with the shooting, it never goes away. I really never had the shooting, so I don't know that it would ever come. So, but maybe you and I could be a package deal. You got to take me if you want Kareem. I like that. I feel like maybe a good way to get Kareem on the team, maybe order a case of Educated Spirits Black and Gold Bourbon. How about that? Maybe,
easy.
At that point in time, we can maybe coerce Kareem into coming and playing with your men's league team. So
sign me up.
All right. If we look ahead to the next one, Kareem, we got Kentucky.
Yes, Kentucky
coming up Saturday. Senior day. in Mizzou Arena. Obviously a good opponent. Kentucky's hit the skids a little bit, but nothing to be ashamed of in a very, very difficult SEC. What does the mindset have to be going into that thing? I would tend to think that for a team that's as energy-based as Mizzou, they need to come out and they need to have a start as good as they've had this season. One of these ones where they're flying right off the turnovers, fast breaking, hitting the long shots. I mean, do you think there's a key? Is it important for them to come out strong in this game on Saturday?
I think we will. I mean, the one thing that we've done all year long is play extremely well at home. I think we're 18-1, best record in the nation. So I anticipate the energy is going to be what it's been all year long. We're going to be ready to go. Senior night, we want to send these guys off right. We're throwing off 2 losses, close the season out. Kentucky's a great opponent. It's going to be probably 3 or 4 seeding in the SEC tournament, so we can see them again. So I think Dennis is just kind of preaching, let's go out here and finish strong and get a win. Send these guys, home the right way.
You've been in these, you're obviously a guy who's played on high level teams across the board. It's one of these deals that my question to you would be, do you think practice will be different over the course of the next few days based on the fact they've lost 2 in a row and the fact that they played about as poorly as they have since the Texas game? I mean, do you expect there to be a different level of focus, a different way of coaching, knowing that the end is in sight and the last couple have been so rough?
Yeah. I think Dennis definitely going to set the tone. So it may be some extra conditioning the first couple of days before the final game. So I can anticipate something like that. I anticipate him screaming and yelling a little bit on the defensive end, especially when they're doing defensive breakdowns. Because again, we had a hard time standing in front of guys. The rebound has been issues. So I think, like I said, the tone will be set for sure. But again, I think internally, guys know, we lost 2. This is the last game of the year. We got our seniors. We want to send them out the right way. So the energy is going to be there regardless. But I know that, just based on what we've done all year long, we come out and have a good game against Kentucky.
What do you think the players are saying to the rest of the team? I mean, obviously Bates didn't have a great game tonight, but he is certainly the leader of this team. Caleb Grill, Mark Mitchell, what do you think those guys are saying to the rest of the team tonight?
These 2 don't mean nothing. Obviously we want to get those. We don't like losing. They have been on the road, and we understand how difficult the SEC has been this year. So there's no, gimmies in this league. So they haven't played extremely bad. Defensively they played pretty poorly, but all in all, they've had a chance to kind of be in these games and haven't got blown out. So a little bit the first half of tonight, but all in all, we had a great year. Let's close it out on a high note and get a win against Kentucky. And that's what the leaders in that locker room, especially the guys, are probably saying.
Yeah. So this is Mizzou Hub Postgame Show presented by Hot Shots. St. Louis is home for all the games all the time since 1990. Find yours at hotshotsnet.com. Also sponsored by Educated Spirits, new Rivals Bourbon Collection featuring the black and gold. Visit educatedspirits.io. Kareem, closing thoughts. What are your thoughts on tonight? Moving on, what do we see from tonight into the future? Where are you at?
Tough one. Kudos to the young boy Spears. He played a great game. Sent those seniors out on a good note. They still got a chance to make the tournament. But again, this next game is all about us. Let's finish out an amazing year. It's going on a high note, and then that's going to propel us to having a great SEC tournament. Then we do that. Then once that tournament starts, it's anybody's ball game. So I'm excited to see these guys the next few weeks. I'm really excited to see them play in the SEC tournament. It can propel us to a nice long, run in the tournament.
Couldn't agree more. It seems like they have accomplished so much this year. They've grown so much as a team. They got to go back and find what it was that led them to the great run in the middle of their conference schedule. And the sky really is the limit. I mean, we've seen both ends of this spectrum right now. And I guess the $10 million question is going to be, which end of that spectrum do we see when it really matters the absolute most? So, Kareem, always fun. Yep, always fun, my friend. We will do it again on Saturday for Kareem Rush. I'm Chris Pelikan. This is the Mizzou Hub Postgame Show on Sports Hub STL. Kareem, we'll do it again on Saturday, my friend.
Cheers, my friend. MIZ.
ZOU.